Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Greg's Shop. In this episode I'm going to show you how I'm going to install this hose bib right here, where there should have always been one when the house was designed and built, but I guess somebody wasn't thinking ahead. So the closest one is 50 feet in that direction and about 60 feet out the door and then down the side of the house. So if you want to pressure wash or wash your car or whatever, you got to do it over there. Run along hose makes no sense. So I'm going to show you how I put this in, and we're going to use a couple of different materials, one of them being PEX, and converting it over to copper pipe. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start at this valve that I installed when I put this water heater in last year. Actually, no, it was 2015 I put it in. And I knew I was going to do this when I put this water heater in, so I put this T in here and this valve, and this is where I'm going to come from with my cold water. It's going to go up inside the wall cavity in the attic. There's another do-it-yourselfer over there, which is what everybody should be doing it themselves. But anyway, don't give me a hard time. Anyway, it's going to go up inside the wall cavity, across the attic space, which is uninsulated garage space, and then come down the inside of the wall. Okay, so one other thing, you want to check with your local county or municipality where you do any work in. This might require a permit if you're going to kind of do the same thing. But in Florida where I live, this is not required because I'm a homeowner doing it myself. It doesn't require a permit. I put this water heater in a while ago, and I got to say that this is a hybrid water heater. It has a compressor, a heat pump compressor in it, and it's probably saved us, I would say, roughly $40 a month in making water hot. So if there's something you're interested in doing, I would recommend the hybrid water heater myself. There's a couple of different manufacturers. This one's made by GE, and so anyway, we're going to use PEX. These are the connectors, and they require no soldering or glue or anything like that, and you can convert them. You can convert copper to CPVC or copper to PEX. Any combination of that, these connectors will work on. So although they are probably $7 to $8 a piece, it's not really, when you consider having to get a do soldering or stuff, it's almost not even worth it on a single job like this. Plus, this is a finished wall, and any soldering that I'm going to do up against the finished drywall is probably going to burn the paint and all that stuff. So that's why I'm going to use these connectors. So anyway, let's get started with that, and there's a couple other things I want to show you before I actually start doing the construction part of it, and I'll take you with me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of wire here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to use this wire by poking a hole through the ceiling here so I can identify exactly where I need to drill a hole in the top 2x4 plate of this ceiling here. So I want the PEX to be down inside this wall cavity, and I need to make sure that I drill it pretty accurately from up above. And by shoving this wire up in there, that's going to give me the exact location. So I'm just going to drill a small hole. And what's nice about that is you can always put a little silicone over it to cover the tiny hole. You'll never see it from down here. Bend this. Put a little piece of tape on it. I've done this once or twice. Oh, and while I'm doing this, might be a good idea to mention that this isn't the Safety Sally show. I'm doing stuff I'm not really supposed to be doing, like standing on top of this ladder, but that's what people do. So just don't get hurt. Be safe when you're doing this stuff. don't give me any comments about, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and wear your safety glasses and whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, here's the wire, and it's there's some blocking in here that's going to make it kind of difficult to get the drill in there, but I'll try to get in there as best I can. I just don't know. I got a bunch of stuff in the way. I can move that. Okay, so I'll push the wire back down. There it goes. Okay, well, there's the hole. We should be able to get the PEX down through there. No problem. What do you say?
I think that Daddy's doing a really good job. And I also think that he should go down from the attic and get some safety glasses.
Okay. Thank you, Safety Sally, Emily. So I'm going to use this low voltage electrical cut-in ring, and that's so that it's almost impossible to push the pipe down from up above and hit a small hole in the wall. So I'm going to have to cut a hole big enough that I could get at least my hand inside there and snag the pipe and pull it out through this, and then I could put a nice faceplate over it that I can drill a hole in that will seal up the opening. So I've got the hole marked where I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to use a oscillating saw to cut it out. So let's start with that. Next thing is to drill a hole through the ceiling in the garage here. It's just drywall, so I'm going to drill a hole right up there in the corner, and then I'm going to bring the pipe down right alongside this wood, so that it's somewhat out of the way and protected. Alright, you want to get this laid out and straightened out so that it's a lot easier to pull through the attic. It's kind of like wire. I laid this out in the driveway for a little bit to get it kind of warmed up. It has a tendency to have some real memory, so I can straighten this out a little bit, but you don't want to bend this too tight. It will kink, and then of course it won't pass the water that you want it to run through it. So go ahead and push this up into the hole. That's going to be difficult now. Okay, it's wedged up in there. Now I got to go up in the attic and pull it through. Wasn't bad. Because it was binding on the drywall, you had to push. So this is a two-man operation.
Stop. I got it.
I bought these connectors here. They don't require anything other than pushing them together. So I've got this one here, which is a union. It's going to join the PEX. It's going to join the PEX and the copper together. First, we got to clean the copper with some sandpaper. I'm using a blank plate to cover the hole, but if I drill a hole straight through, the pipe's not going to fit in there, so I have to drill a hole at an angle. Let's see if I can do this without sawing through my fingers. Here we go. Not the prettiest. Okay, here's the rude but crude hole that I drilled, but it actually turned out to be actually pretty tight around the pipe, and I don't want any like mud daubers or any kind of nest building insects to fly in here and find a hole. So even though it's kind of rough looking, I'll caulk around there and it'll be airtight pretty much. So you got to put all this together before you make the connection, because then otherwise you got to take these connectors apart. So go ahead and clean the pipe. That's it. That's a made connection right there. Nope, I didn't blow it out. Yeah, this is the sharp connector here. Goes on that. I put a little Teflon tape on it.
I got
Enough. Okay. This is the tricky part, is getting the correct amount of pipe, because I don't know how much this takes up in here. Getting the correct amount of pipe in the wall so there's not much in the way of slack or it's going to be sticking out too far. I'm going to insert that and then we'll put it through the wall. A little too much. Cut that off just a little bit. I don't mind if it sticks out a little bit, but I really want it as flush as possible. That'll probably work. That's fine. That way, if I ever need to take that apart, I can get the little tool in there and pop that off, and that's perfect. this is what I guess is used to strap this pipe down, but these are just cheap plastic. That's gonna break. It's gonna break in the attic. It's gonna get too hot. Those are going in the garbage. I took a piece of EMT strapping. This is for strapping conduit to the wall, and I put a little bit of heat shrink over it so that it wouldn't be metal on plastic. So I'm going to use these rather than that other stuff, and this should be much more durable. All right, so this could be the last thing I do before I put all this stuff together. I don't like this blue color knob against my tan house, so I'm gonna shoot some paint on it. Okay guys, that wraps up another episode of Greg's Shop. Really not a build video, but it was more of a do-it-yourself type video. So I hope it inspires you to go out and do things for yourself. This particular plumbing project was fairly easy. I believe almost anyone can do it with just basic tools. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.